What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stirfry. It's your boy Chef T.
I'm Will the Spacekid.
And our special guest today is Shawn Skale.
How's everybody doing? Thanks
Great,
for having
man.
me.
Yeah, how you doing today?
Good. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you. You know, we've been friends for a while.
Oh yeah, since 5th grade.
Yeah.
I remember you came up with your little frosted tips.
Yeah.
I like this kid.
That was when I switched schools from Eastlake to Lillooet.
Yeah.
Classic. All right, so you do, you're an artist, you paint, you now do tattoos.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, man. You've since I've known you, you weren't that creative guy, and then you turned into that creative guy. I feel like.
Yeah, it definitely came out of nowhere. I mean, you know me, we grew up playing sports, and that was literally all we cared about. And then, really, I mean, I went through art school. Like, I was in art during high school. Made it all the way up to Art 4. I took it as an easy class because I wanted to play football and just made sure I had the right grades to play,
Right.
So I didn't really look into it like that, but every year they just kept recommending me onto the next step class up, and I was just like, I don't see why, but whatever, I'll just keep taking the class. And so I ended up doing all 4 years of art, never really thought about it.
Right.
And then it was until after high school I just had so much more time on my hands. Sports were done. My body just couldn't handle that stuff anymore. And got right into it. It was crazy how it started, honestly. It was just out of nowhere, really.
Well, you were so all your projects you're working on, did you really enjoy it in art, or were you just like trying to go through the motions just to get that passing grade?
I was just a goofball in high school. I would pick the goofy projects too, and it would kind of piss the art teacher off a little bit, but I still just kind of did a little stuff, minimum, just to get through her class and so she could deal with me. But no, she's a great woman. Miss Kirshnick, she was a fantastic teacher, and actually, I don't know if anybody remembers the ceiling tiles we had at North. That
I remember. I remember
classes did. I got to do one of those my senior year, and right before they tore down the school, that was my little brother's senior year, and she gave him the ceiling tile. So I brought it back to my house, and that's what's sitting over my
I don't feel like
studio
I didn't
chair.
see it.
Yeah, no, it's right above it. So whenever you come get a tattoo, you'll be looking at it the whole time.
Dude, that's what makes you so mad, though, is like I'll never be able to go. Okay, yeah, North was like not the best, school, but I'm pissed that I'm not gonna be able to like go back and be like I went there and go through the
Yeah, I tried to get my last view of the school before they tore it down too. Yeah. It was really cool walking through it.
Did either one of y'all take a break?
Nah.
What do you mean?
Like, a lot of the times, like when stuff gets torn down, like people either steal a brick or they buy it.
Oh, one of the bricks. Yeah. Oh no, I wish that would have been funny.
But you got the tiles.
I drove by a few times.
Yeah,
through the weeks I drove by, they were like slowly tearing it down. I was like, oh, there goes the commons. There goes the main stairs. There goes half the upstairs hallway. I'm like, damn, that'd be cool to get one of those pieces. But I was happy with my ceiling tile for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
let me just get this a little bit. There you go. But yeah, but it's crazy they put so much money in when we were juniors and seniors. Though.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
They redid like a lot of shit, and then they just tore it down. Like,
I mean, they always had the plans. Like during sports, when we were freshmen, they were talking about giving us a new stadium and a new soccer stadium.
When we got the
too,
stadium, that was
I was like always expecting it, but over the 4 years we were there, I was like, these guys are never gonna do it. And then finally, the year, what was it? 2 years? No, it was my brother's year. So 4 years after we were gone, they finally did it.
Yeah,
it was kind of pointless just giving them all that new stuff. Like the goofiest thing was the carpeting in the school. That was pointless.
Yeah, the place is shit. I mean,
but it was home.
Yeah, it was.
It was home.
Yeah. So why didn't you pursue any like sports after high school, or did you?
I mean, personally, for like football, I just felt like I was just too small for it. Okay. Everyone said I had the speed and all that, but it just wasn't enough for me. I was stuck. I'm still the same weight I was in high school and sophomore year, so I was just like, that wouldn't have got me anywhere in college or anything like that. So, no, and I realized like getting into this art, give me a future, and it's not going to tear me up. That's
true, because people don't think about. That's a big thing. I know people don't think about the wear and tear on your body. They think about the money, possible money. Even the clout, but like they don't think about, okay, well, what am I gonna be when I'm like 40?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm all fucked up.
It's so much time put into this, and you don't get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Once I got into art, I was like, I could put everything into this and leave it behind, and it'll be here forever. That was my biggest thing about my artwork. I just finished a painting from one of my buddies moving to Denver, and it's a lifetime buy. He's gonna have that forever, you know.
Yeah.
Along with tattoos as well. Those are stuck forever. So
yeah. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You get to be a part of something that lasts longer.
Yeah.
You know, that
exactly.
will always be there.
Exactly. You know, sports. That one play lasts how long? Talking about it for a week or two, and then it's on to the next play. People, you know, people see artwork, and art's honestly everywhere. You know, I'm driving down the highway and I'm looking out the trees. Just
it's everywhere.
Driving here today, I was looking at all these trees. I was like, this is fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
like that's there forever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I actually shot this video of this guy that came from I think L.A. or New York. But he did this big mural, and we did like a video of it. I can't wait till you get into. I want to see you get into big like graffiti type.
That's
stuff.
what I started with that. You've been to my house, and so I started with. I was sitting at my house one day, and I didn't have nothing to do. I was just sitting on the couch watching TV, and it's like this room's plain as fuck. You know, I want to do something with this, and I was just kind of looking up ideas and shit, and then I ended up finding a really cool picture I liked, and ended up painting it on my wall.
Super cool.
And
so this was your first kind of experience.
First time I picked up the brush, like, and this was last year.
Okay,
I'm just over a year now from when I started everything, like my whole art journey, I guess.
Okay.
And but yeah, no, it was just a hobby at the time. I just wanted to see what I could do and see if I could make a cool back wall for my dad's basement, and came out great. And I was like, I want to keep adding this. I ended up wrapping it around the whole wall, and after that, I didn't have any plans for tattooing at all. It was really just I wanted to paint, and then I started getting into canvases, and I wanted to sell canvases for my friends. My biggest thing was landscapes, like for people. If someone took a picture of their backyard, and they sent it to me, those are my favorite ones. I just did one for a buddy of mine, and it was a Father's Day gift, and he took a picture of his backyard, and they grew up there, you know, and it was beautiful. They had the river in the back and everything, and did that, painted it out real quick, and he said it was more beautiful than the actual picture, like standing back there. So it was a really good feeling that they're gonna have that forever, and because they know that painting. So like that's the more sentimental things. That's what I love doing, because it's just like big for that. I do a lot of other stuff on the side, and if someone buys that off me, it's doesn't mean as much. It's just a random place, you know. But if they have something in mind that they really want to show me, I would love to do.
So how was the first time getting paid for your talent?
It wasn't like anything that I never cared for that. I didn't want to get paid for anything. I was just doing it to practice. I still do it to practice. I don't care about the money at all. That'll come in the future if I get good enough. You know,
right?
That's where it all takes the practice. People think that people think coming into tattooing you're just gonna have this money coming at you, and it's not like that at all. There's so much stuff you got to take care of. There's prices. There's bills, certain like equipment wise, and it just doesn't. You're not great. You know, I still don't feel like I'm good. You know, people tell me that I've had a lot of support with this, and a lot more people than I expected coming to me for tattoos, which is amazing. But I'm always going to be practicing and learning off these people.
But do you remember your first customer?
For painting.
Yeah.
I didn't really. I kind of just painted a bunch of stuff, and then I had a few friends of mine. They're like, "I love those paintings. You know, mind if I just kind of?" I was like, "Yeah, here, $20." You know, I was just kind of messing around, did a few paintings. I made a deal with one of my friends. She's like, "No matter how good you get, I get to buy your paintings for $20 every time." I'm like, "All right, whatever. Since you're just gonna keep buying them, you know, I'd love that." So
that's
so you
doesn't matter how big it is or not. I'll just give her a painting for $20. It's up to her if she wants to sell it for whatever, you know. So. Big come up for her.
Super cool.
Yeah, but no, I don't really
I
go off of the customers like that. It's just anybody that really wants something that they would love to see on their wall or anything like that. If I feel like I could do it, I'm gonna go.
And then what about first tat? The first tat.
My first tat was on my buddy Rosa. That was so I didn't think about tattooing at all. That wasn't in my head when my girlfriend bought me my whole machine. She got everything I needed for Christmas. She's like, if you're good at painting, you might be good at tattooing. I was like, I mean, even though
she secretly wanted those free tattoos.
Yeah, exactly. She secretly knew that she was just gonna get covered up if I get good enough.
Okay.
So yeah, it was really cool. But got all that stuff, and then I did like 2 months of research before I even touched the needle, and want to make sure I didn't want to fuck anybody's skin up.
You had to.
And went on my buddy Rosa, did a little piece right up on the higher part of his thigh.
Safe place,
yeah, very safe. Now he's upset because he wants it to show somewhere, but
Yeah.
I was like, just let me hide it
Just
for
for
now.
for
So
now.
first few ones, my third tattoo I ever did, my buddy comes in, he's like, do my knuckles. I'm like, holy shit, are you kidding me? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing still, and you want me to do your knuckles?
Oh, man.
Right.
But no, those are the ones that really pushed me and helped me got better. Like I did my first portrait on my buddy, and I did not want to do that, but he was like, I don't care how it comes out. So those are the best people that are okay with it.
Having the friends there.
Yeah,
the
friends were the biggest deal.
Yeah.
Biggest thing.
Because
Sure.
I mean, obviously, so you're well known in the community. Obviously, you have a lot of friends here and all that type of stuff, and then seeing that, I'm gonna do tattoos and people are actually coming to you, I bet that's like a great feeling.
It's greatest feeling in the world. I mean, I never expected. I look at my work and I'm like, me personally, I wouldn't want to go to me, but everyone that sees my work, they're like, this is your line work's great, and then they come to me with other work on their body, and I see it, and sometimes I'm like, how does someone in a shop do this? Like, how do you let somebody?
I know you're
do
talking
this
about that rose I saw.
Yeah, like there's just a few other things that I've seen a bunch of them that I'm just like I had to do my first cover up already. Like, how do you? I'm supposed to be the one you're getting covered up. Like my work's supposed to get covered up right now. So being able to try covering up people's work and them know that I'm good enough to cover their work up is
doesn't
amazing.
it make you feel good to?
It's
so
amazing.
it's like obviously shit. You feel bad that person got a shitty tattoo, but knowing that you've only been doing this for such a short period of time,
going on 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you are definitely way ahead of these people that have been doing it for people have been doing it for a year or two. These people, some people just never get any better.
And I don't know what it is, if it's some like they think that they know how to tattoo so they don't got to learn anything. Like I learned how to tattoo, but I know there's just so much more that I need to learn.
I think it's false
I'm always it's false confidence.
False confidence for sure, because they think that, because going in there, they probably think that they're better than everyone else. They probably think they're like better. But you have this humble ideology that like, I'm still getting better. I'm in my process phase of working on tattooing. I can admit that I'm not the best. But I know I'm not the worst.
Yeah, I'll never even say that. There's people have their days, I guess, and they have their bad days. And so far, I haven't had a bad day, but I'm dreading that day when it comes, and I'm sure it comes for everybody, of course. But no, there's just really, and I'm completely self-taught. I haven't had the chance to learn from anybody or get a mentor, because when you become a tattoo artist, it pretty much becomes your life.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta, you're 100% tattooing, and you gotta make sure, if you want to be, good, you just gotta let it take over your life, and it's gotta be number one. But so other tattoo artists don't really have that time to come over and help me or do these kind of things, to give their time to me. Yeah. And I've gotten some advice from them, and one of the biggest things I took was, this is all just self-preference. You're gonna learn as you go. It's hard to teach someone something that makes them comfortable.
Yeah.
So, because he could be trying to teach me something that's not comfortable for me. So if I try it and I figure out a way to, and it's completely different and it's comfortable, there's no point of him even trying to teach me, because I'm basically teaching myself the whole thing. So no, since I started, once I heard that advice, I just didn't even care to go through anybody, and everything I'm doing is just trial and error now, and learning through myself.
I think it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I've learned so much more than I really expected to as well.
Yeah. I mean, anything from art specifically is like, someone can tell you how to do something, but again, you're going to have your own way of doing it, no matter what.
Absolutely.
I can shoot videos, but my video's not going to look exactly like if Will did videos.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I was just watching a friend of ours do a video, and he's never picked up a camera before. Okay. And I kind of have like a little bit of experience, and I know where like a camera should be held and everything for the right, angles. And he was like 20 feet back taking a video of these guys that should have been up close. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, but he has to learn from trial and error.
Yeah, like trial and error. And I would have been happy to tell him, like, figure it out, fix it up, and told him that. And if he would have learned, he would have never done it again, obviously. Yeah. So it's all trial and error and everything. So, I mean, for me, for that video, you could just delete that and make another video, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if I try my trial and error is I gotta make sure if I fuck it up, I don't completely fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? So to the point where I can at least fix it. That's what's nice about tattooing is you can cover up, but there's like one chance you can cover up as well. So basically, you get like 1 second chance. And it's really rough.
Tattooing, especially initially, probably takes so much confidence and balls. How did you even feel going to your first one? Were you really nervous?
I was tripping. I was freaking out. I didn't know what to. I from the videos. I didn't. It's hard to learn off a video when you go to actual thing and like touching skin and seeing how everyone's like skin is kind of different sizes as well, like different depths and everything. So no, going into it for the first time was insane. I just. What
was going through your head? You're like, I'm just gonna do this.
I just told him, I was like, I'm sorry, Vince. That's it. If anything happens, it happens. We'll trial and error, I guess. Yeah. But it's scratchy. Looking at it back at it now, like when I see it, sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's scratchy. I could tell. Obviously, that was probably my first one, but I pretty much had it down after the third, fourth one. I realized.
Kind of like, have you ever had anybody like chicken out, complain, or cry?
Yeah, not like in the middle of the tattoo yet.
Okay.
Everyone so far has gone through it. I've had a few people get lightheaded. My older brother got lightheaded on me because I didn't. He has a few, but I think he just was nervous about me tattooing him personally.
Yeah, so
I get it.
I would never expect to get a tattoo from my little brother. I'd be freaking out if my little brother was tattooed.
How do you like make people feel comfortable, like if they are kind of like that?
Well, so. It really got a lot easier over the time now that people have seen my work, and they understand that I'm not gonna completely fuck up their tattoo, and they see that I have a straight line, kind of. That kind of makes it more comfortable for them. Okay. Everybody's different. I mean, I'm always gonna sit there and talk to those people and let them know like if there's anything they need, if they want to take some time, all those kinds of things. But no, it's really nice. These people. I can't even think of what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has this nice, is it dope ass little basement, little like dungeon.
Yeah. So we a couple years ago we got an extension on our house and we dug an extra addition underneath and it's just like this kind of little room. We call it the cave. And a little hobbit door to get in. But once you're in, you're good. You could stand up and everything.
Chloe fits right through it.
Yeah, Chloe can walk right through that little door. But no, it's really cool. We made an addition, and then it was supposed to be a storage room, but I ended up taking over kind of. And I don't live there anymore. I'm back in Menor, and I use this because I just have my whole studio set up in there too now. That's where I painted everything. So half of the room is my painting section, and half the room is my studio for tattooing.
And I'm sure it's really great to have, even though it's it's your old house. But like having a separation between your home and work.
Yeah, you don't go through my home at all. It's not connected, so it's sanitary reasons. It keeps it clean. Nothing's connected with the house and the studio, which is really nice. Going through it's pretty much like an open house. Anybody's always welcome to come by and walk right in and hang out with us while I do tattoos and stuff. Yeah. I love it. It's a great environment.
Even the idea of what I was more or less saying was, having it separate from your house in Menor. And being able to go to work and kind of feel like
it still keeps me like I'm doing something. Like I don't feel like I'm just sitting at home and doing this, and then I could sit right on the couch, and it just feels like I didn't do anything throughout the day. I can go out, do what I need to do, and then run some errands coming home, and it still feels like a work day. Yeah, it's really nice.
So how do you schedule your things? Do you go there in the mornings and then someone hits if you have something scheduled, or
I go off of basically bi-weekly right now. I try to fill up a week or so because then I can have that second week open for anybody that if I have anything going on, because the scheduling part right now is really tough. Yeah, I'm still learning all of that, but it's going really well so far. Since I fully started scheduling, it's been about 2 months now, and everything's ran smoothly, and I really like it. But yeah, definitely I stick bi-weekly, so if I don't, people think I'm booked like monthly. I'm like, that's amazing that you think that.
Yeah, but, I thought that.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, that's really amazing that you think that, but I don't want to get to that. I don't want to get there right now because I need to keep some open space for myself too. I don't want to overwork myself.
Yeah, especially initially.
I'm falling in love with it. I feel like I'm not even working right now. I feel like I'm retired, honestly. It's great. But no, it's fun. I have fun doing it.
I can't wait till the official Scale Inc. building.
Yeah, I've had a few. I've already had a few people talk to me about that too, and I tell everybody, I'm like, I want to make sure I get good enough. I'm just starting off, and there's so much more that I can do, and I still don't know if I can do it yet. There's just so much to this tattoo industry that keeps coming and different things to happen. Everybody always wants different work. It's the art industry is insane.
Have you entered the tattoo party scene yet?
The what?
Like when people have these tattoo parties, because it just seems crazy.
That would be a good thing as well.
It seems crazy to me.
I brought it up to a few friends. I thought it would be easier if I brought all my stuff to their place.
Yeah.
And just had a little party, but I haven't tried it yet. So I guess I just can't. I don't know how to really say how it would go, honestly. But I'd be down for it. Yeah. I feel like it'd be the same thing I do in my house. I've had my little brother just had his few friends come over, and I did all 4 of them in that day. Okay. So it's pretty close.
Well, yeah, because they're simple tattoos.
Very simple. That's what I
it's good though, because you get to practice more line work. Mm-hmm. They're simple. They're not really super complex. And then you have the days when
there's. Go ahead.
I just not to cut you off, but I always thought it was crazy because it's like. How do I put it? So when somebody book you, it's kind of like, I don't know, you get to think about it for a day or two. Oh, but it's kind of like, it's just 10 people. Somebody's just like, okay, you're going to put Batman right here. And then the next person just want a butterfly.
Yeah, it kind of, I'll be texting people back. I'll be like, so you wanted this butterfly on your back? And they're like, no, I wanted a dragon on my leg. I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I got too many people, coming up with these things. That's why I kind of prefer to go over if... Usually when you come to get a tattoo, there's that extra hour in there to do your design, go over everything, give the artist time to kind of redraw a few things, do touch-ups, and just to go over the idea. Because sometimes if it doesn't work out, you just got to start over from scratch, and it's going to take some time. Usually the most time-consuming stuff is before the tattoo even starts, so...
Yeah, because with the tattoo, you already have the...
you're all set, and I can go in, and I just get in the zone and go at it. But, definitely before the fact is... I prefer... doing the design with the person there as well, because if they message me and they're like, oh, I want this style or this design, and I draw something up and they come over and they're like, that's not what I was talking about at all. I'm like, well then, if they're there with me, then I can sit there with them and talk to them about what they wanted, kind of see what they like, and then it'll be a lot easier to do that. So I definitely prefer scheduling a day and then going over the tattoo, and if that takes enough time, we could do the design that day and then schedule another day to start the tattoo. So it's definitely my preference for going over tattoos and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely get blown up with ideas. Definitely a different lifestyle now. Every time I go to the bar, it's probably 90% tattoo talk. Everyone wants to talk about tattoos with me, and
it's an exciting...
I don't mind it. I like it. I love, and that's why I expected that too. Yeah. Coming into it, I expected people wanting to talk about tattoos. Obviously, when you go to the bar, you're like, "How you been? How's work going?" It's kind of the same thing every time. So once I got into this, we could go deeper into that piece, and now they're actually talking to a whole design, and we get into it. We could have a whole hour conversation about what you like and stuff like that, and I'm cool with that. It gives me something to talk about at the bar.
Yeah,
sometimes you sit there and you're like, all right, what else is there to talk about?
You get those situations.
I'll go on with tattoos. You're at the bar, those come up majority of the time. People will be sitting there and they'll be like, oh, I like your ink, and then they're sitting there talking about their whole body. So it's really cool. It's definitely a conversation starter, which is awesome.
It's great. It's great because...
Definitely because I suck at starting conversations, so it's nice. It's
I feel it. But it's great because then if people weren't talking about your tattoos, then I would be worried. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's great that people want to be in involved conversation. That means that your tattoos are good. Mm-hmm. That means people want to get your input, or they want to get you to do their work, or because tattoos are something very important to people. It's almost a sacred huge. Kind of thing,
With it forever, it's that's why everything's meaningful. That's why everyone wants a meaningful tattoo.
Half the people probably, I'd say more than half the people probably get a tattoo for some sort of reason or purpose.
Majority of the other tattoos that are just kind of meaningless. It's more to just fill that area. Everyone starts off with a meaningful tattoo, but once they realize they love tattoos, they just end up turning into, I want to fill my skin. You know, I got what I wanted that meant something to me. Now I want to just
fill it around,
show it and show more and show the ink on their skin, which is it's cool. I mean, I started off, everything was all meaningful to me on my arm, and then there's just certain areas I was like, I don't got any ideas, so I'm just gonna fill it with whatever, and it worked out.
Is it easy to like kind of? So I always wonder that. So say I have a tattoo right here, and I have a tattoo right here, and then maybe one right here. Like, is it easy kind of to fill in the ideas?
Like, it definitely it'll take some time to.
I never get the concept of the concept of the idea of connecting it all.
So if you can kind of see on mine, this was all scattered at one point, and then sooner or later, once I was all done, I ended up filling in with like kind of smoke effects. There's just certain background ways. A lot of people do clouds. Like that's kind of the biggest thing that people do. Once they fill up, they're like, I'll just throw clouds and everything because it's simple and it covers up and it looks nice. So I mean, that's how a lot of people do it. They can scatter around and then throw any kind of filler in. It's just all about the filler. And then that's why some certain people, they'll do a whole piece that fits together. It's either you're scattered or you're doing one full piece.
Because I'd be more of a scattered,
Yeah, I love the scattered artwork. It's really cool.
Have you ever done anything
more
to
time
connect?
to find stuff that fits you, you know?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Have you ever done anything to like that would connect and bring out like a whole sleeve yet, or?
Not yet. I'm still getting to that. I'm still at the areas where I'm just putting on people. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm filling up their skin and now they need a filler. So I'm still at those starting stages. I'd say within a year or two, those arms will be filled up with those spots, and then I could start doing fillers. But if anyone comes to me that needs a filler, I'd love to try it and practice on them. But yeah, everything I'm doing, I'm not trying. I don't ever want to say I'm good and I know what I'm doing, because everything I've done so far is basically my first artwork on someone. Like there's 100 different styles. There's all kinds of different techniques now with tattoos. So everything I do is just so far. Everything I've done has been my first of that piece. You know, I did my first traditional a little while ago. I did my first realistic. Did my first portrait. Everything's different, like faces, all kinds of that. All those little things. It's all different styles. So that's what I'm trying to learn. You know, it's tough doing everything a little bit. I think it'd be a lot easier doing like one thing a lot to practice it, you know what I'm saying? So if I want to stick with traditional, then I would just work on traditional till I perfect it, and then I'd go on to the next one. But with tattooing, not everybody just wants traditional. So I can't just be like, no, I'm giving you traditional. You can't do that.
I mean, you gotta take business as business.
Yeah, it's definitely starting off with tattooing. Everybody's so far has been something different for me. So like I haven't had the time to really practice on one specific style. It's all just different pieces, and I'm basically slowly learning everything. You could do it either way, I guess. Either way. You know, like if you set it up, if you had 3 boxes and you just stacked one box on each for like a week straight, it would get up to like halfway. You put one box on one for a week straight, one box all the way up, that's going to be all the way up full. Yeah. And then you can start on the next one, and you're going to know everything about that one, and you have time to do on these ones. So I kind of took it as that. I've always, like when I started painting, I only wanted to work on painting. But then once I got the tattoo set up, I was like, shit, now I kind of got to take a break from painting, and that slows my craft down with that. Yeah. So it's tough, but it's also, you know, I do love tattooing now. Once I started tattooing, I completely switched over, and now I'm building my boxes on tattooing, and I love it, and I'm having a blast with it. So I've definitely taken time off with painting, even though, you know, it's a blessing that I got to start off with it, and I'm always gonna love painting. That's just my all-time favorite. I love painting. It's awesome. But sticking with tattooing right now and just working on it. Yeah. I love it.
What'd you bring in from painting and brought into the tattooing?
Definitely color schemes. Definitely, I think I got a jump on colors for sure. Is blending colors, all those kinds of things. You know, I can't wait to start doing more color tattoos, because I definitely know with painting, you learn perspective, like lighting perspective, and that's the same thing with these black and gray tattoos. You know, you need the right lighting. If the lighting's off on it and it looks like light's coming all over the place, it's gonna look stupid. You need that one, and that's like the number one thing they teach you in art class. So I knew that first off, and once I started with that, it really just took off from there. The lighting perspective is amazing. It takes you really far. So, and that you could use it with tattooing, all that, but definitely with painting was my color schemes. Taught me a lot with my color schemes for sure. So
yeah, and like
definitely
shading
exciting.
and
all the right shading. Now the shading with painting and tattooing is completely different, obviously.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I could go and paint a whole fucking landscape or like some woods and all kinds of that and do the right lighting on it. On a tattoo would be a lot more difficult because with the needle and the depth in the needle, like with the painting, I could just slap it on, with the paint and it'll pop. With the needle, you got to go the right depths, right areas of the skin. It's right amount of ink. You got to gray wash the ink. There's all kinds of stuff that you really got to go through. And it's really hard. Definitely figuring it out, but just taking my time on it.
Yeah, I
really.
think it's definitely
the art world is complicated because there's just so many different ways of art. Yeah, you can do it your own way, but you got to start with the basics and obviously.
Well, yeah, you have to follow the rules first, and then you could break the rules. That's the thing all artists do. You have to learn how to do something.
I can't wait to break the rules.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah, because you got to learn something, and then boom, you can just go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want because you already know how it works.
Exactly.
I definitely think I think shading is probably having that head start on painting and then moving to tattoos and just knowing the shading is 100% step ahead of a lot of people.
It definitely, a lot of the tattoos I've already done too, I took what I knew from painting and I did it to that and it worked out. Yeah. I do bare minimum with my shading on my tattoos right now because if I just go crazy hard with black and it turns into just a big black blob on their skin,
you don't want
I'm
that.
fucked, you know. But if I do very minimum and I come back to and I see that it's too light, I could go right back over and darken it up and make it the right tone that I want it to. So I'm always gonna stay light with the tattoo. So if anybody's got a tattoo out there that's falling off right now, it's okay. We'll fix that. But other than that, yeah, it's crazy how the shading and everything works. I love it. It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really fun too.
Yeah, what do you think is like the difference, like maybe between, maybe like from somebody getting a face tat versus somebody getting a tat on their arm?
I mean the difference, definitely the pain. They won't like that.
Okay.
But in your perspective,
do you prepare any differently? Maybe.
No, I honestly it's more mentally getting ready to how I'm gonna do this on their skin. I just did my first cartilage.
Okay,
I did a flower on a cartilage, and that was really weird because I got to kind of bend that ear back a little bit, and I don't have a set area on the skin to work on it. I had to hold it, and if I went too hard, I probably would have stabbed my finger if I went through too
the
far,
ear.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really scary because those layers in the ear are definitely a lot different than.
Because you can apply a little more pressure.
Yeah, you can apply that pressure and do that, but if that goes through the ear, you got another ear piercing.
Right. Hey, sorry.
So maybe just being a little bit more cautious, like when it comes to the face and the ears. And stuff like that.
I mean, even with anywhere on the body, I'm always gonna stay cautious with it, but definitely more cautious with all the more sensitive areas.
Yeah, I wanna peel back a little bit and talk about. So you do tattooing full time now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So how was that initial? Hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna quit my job.
That was definitely the scariest jump. So I kind of, I really just didn't know. I was stuck at the dealership. I was there for 5 years and waiting on something. I didn't go to college or anything because I wasn't into school or nothing. And went to the dealership, wanted to teach myself some mechanics and just the cars, all that, so I know for the future for myself and stick that out until I thought something would come to me. And then 5 years later, I'm like, fuck, nothing's coming to me.
Yeah. So
I'm screwed. Like, I got to do something now or I'm just going to be stuck doing this forever. And I don't want to do that. I was tired of it. And after that, I was just like, I got to try something. Once I tried it, the painting was definitely a blessing in disguise for me. It was just something I was like, okay, I'm into this. If I would have looked back and I'd tell myself, I'd be like, if you touch that brush, don't let it go. Literally, like, don't drop that brush. Keep doing it. Keep trying. Keep doing everything you're doing. It's gonna pay off. And that's why I want a lot of people to know, like, to just consistency is the biggest thing with life. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not consistent, like for me as an example, if I'm not consistent painting a picture, I'm not getting anywhere. It's not going to get anywhere. If I'm consistent sitting on the couch, I'm not getting anywhere. I can either be consistent sitting on the couch or consistent painting pictures. And then a week goes by, I just gained 5 pounds, or I gained 5 different paintings that I could sell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing. So,
And you gain experience.
yeah, you gain experience. You know, I tell myself something for the future. You know, there's some little stuff that you'll never know, and little things that you go for. If you just keep going at it, you're going to teach yourself these things. And it's definitely amazing. But my biggest thing is since I started, I just stuck by consistency. That's my whole life right now. It's just I want to stay consistent with this. Because if I don't, like people have been coming to me, they'll come over, they'll be like, looks like you're doing a tattoo every day. I'm like, well, if I don't, what am I going to be doing?
Yeah.
You know, there's no point in this if I'm not just going to keep doing this. At least one every day, I got to. That's what I tell myself. And since that, I can't even tell you how many tattoos I've done. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, you get a lot of support.
Yeah, no, that was the biggest thing too. My friends, like I wasn't expecting.
Were they a big factor into
huge factor? They're still a huge factor.
Yeah.
It's still, you know, I'm sticking with just friends right now, like close friends. You know, I've had a few friends of friends come to me as well, and I'm okay with that. But definitely, my friends are the biggest factor to all of this. Definitely a blessing that, you know, it's good that I was nice to people in high school as well, or that would have probably screwed me over.
Yeah.
So. No, I love everybody that comes to me for this stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like your next step, once you feel like you've perfected the art, the next step is to ramp up the brand. You know, the ramp up the brand and marketing, and like position yourself that way.
No, yeah, I wasn't sure about that for a minute either, and like my account that I have now on Instagram, the Scales Inc. account, that wasn't even my idea. I wasn't prepared for that. It was Manny that came to me, and I did a tattoo for him, and then he goes home that day, and he just busts out a big picture, and he puts Scales Ink on it. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, and he drew out this crazy little piece, and he said it took him like 30 minutes. I was like, you'd be an amazing artist too if you just take your time.
Man.
I told him, I was like, you'd be amazing. Just take your time with it. I was like that too. I would sit in a drawing, and then I just start scribbling all over the page because I just feel like fucking doodling and going fast. But art is just patience, and you got to take your time with it. That's why I told him, I was like, you take your time, you'd be amazing.
Yeah, he would be a great even graffiti artist.
Yeah,
like
that's what I was telling him. That was the style he sent me too.
Yeah.
It was just it said Scales Ink on it. I was like, this is beautiful.
He just did that. I mean, but yeah, his music is overshadows his artistic skills, but
yeah. But that's what I was talking about before. If he wants to stick with the music industry, he needs to stick with it. He needs to work on it and go straight to the top with it. Or if he wants to work on the art industry, go work with it, and you got to put your whole life into it. Yeah. That's really a lot of these people that become big. They just dedicate their whole lives to it.
Absolutely. That's every day you wake up, you know, because I think the problem is people think when work's done, you're done.
You're done. Exactly.
But work never stops people, especially not in the art industry.
It's the biggest joke ever.
No, exactly.
Especially not
in the art industry.
You know, yeah. Because we, you know, specifically, I work and I do I still do video work during the day. Like, that's what I do. But then I come home, I do this, or I do, you know, edit music videos or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, it never actually stops. And we all kind of have this idea of, like, eventually it'll stop. Mm-hmm. But I think the day it stops is the day we stop gaining progress. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because if we say, oh, you know what, I'm done doing the extra stuff, well, then you're probably going to plateau. You know, you have to keep pushing yourself to maybe you're like, oh, I'm only going to do one tattoo today. But you're like, you know what, I think I should do 2 tattoos.
Yeah,
I think I need to do 2 tattoos.
Hey, that's what I tell myself all the time. Like, I can either go home and play some COD or something and not get anything done, or stay here and finish this tattoo and then bust out a painting. You know, that's what I would take that 10 times out of 10 for sure.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, but you also definitely need to like be able to step away sometimes, for sure.
Oh, of course.
You need the breaks.
Like today, I went this whole week and I kind of just like overscheduled myself this week and just to see how it would turn out. And the past 3 days, I think I did like 3 tattoos a day. And I felt like I just overworked myself, and so I took today off, and I feel good. I want to get right back. I'm honestly getting anxiety because I'm not holding the tattoo machine right now.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of exciting?
It's exciting. You got to give yourself some. What's that one saying? It was like distance keeps the heart or something like that. I don't know what the name
grows fonder or something.
Yeah, grows
something like that.
My
so I get what you're
says
saying.
It to me all the time.
Yeah,
because I can't get enough of her. So she's like, just get away from me.
Yeah,
Make the heart grow.
Yeah, we'll get closer by being separate. I think that's true though, by the way.
Yeah. So, but like, just like today, I was like, woke up, and I'm like, damn, I kind of want to do a tattoo, even though I didn't schedule anything, which is good, which definitely makes me happy. Since I started, I just don't feel like I've worked a day. And
that's
great.
That's
the best feeling
that's what's pursuing your dreams
ever had.
Yeah.
Before that, I was going to a dealership, waking up dreading the day.
Like fuck.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I don't think I ever made it to work on time. Like throughout 4 years. Swear to God.
Yeah.
I showed up probably almost an hour late every day, and they just didn't notice.
They're like, whatever.
Yeah, they just said whatever, and I was like, all right, whatever. So it just kind of became a habit, but now getting into this, now I can sleep in, and I'm like, I can schedule my own stuff. I can wake up anytime I want to, but that's also scary at the same time because that can keep me from getting a lot of work done. If I think I don't got to do anything today. That's what will screw over a lot of people is
how do you juggle that mental battle? Because I know some days you probably can be like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I feel like my getting into it is if I wake up, like they say, like if you make your bed in the morning, it'll kind of give you that motivation to go do something. So I have a tough time making my bed too, but it's because I don't want to, Maybe if my bed was a painting, I'd get more into making it. So, but no, it's really just my love for this right now. I was never into something so much in my life. Like me personally, with when I look at paintings too, I don't sit there and I'm just like, that's a cool boat. I get up into it and I'll sit there for 10, 15 minutes staring at this whole painting up close and seeing every detail, studying everything. And I don't know why, but I always had that eye for those paintings like that. And that's kind of why I just ended up doing it. Because I knew that for so long, me studying these strokes like that and just seeing it, I knew I could do it. So I finally tried it and it just turned into something crazy, changed my life.
Yeah.
And now I get to stare at my paintings up close, and I'm so used to it too, staring at them up close. Now I could sit there for hours on end and just paint and add little details and add little stuff, and it turns into fun. Honestly, it's just all fun. I love it.
So what's the underlying motivation that keeps you going every day though, to wake up and do stuff?
I mean, I guess it's just because it's all I got right now, I want to definitely have a good life, and I can't have a good life unless I don't push through this, So people say, that there's certain things in the art industry where it could do a lot for you, but there's also ways it could do nothing for you.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure, if
I mean, the struggling artist is a thing.
I don't want to be a mediocre artist. I want to do some. I want to be some. I want people to see beautiful work. I get no more joy than seeing a smile on someone's face for a piece of artwork I give them. Definitely the greatest feeling. I saw your post about those murals too, and that's probably a big goal for mine right now. Is I just want to. Definitely, my biggest is to put a mural in downtown Willoughby.
That would be epic.
I would love to do that. I don't know how that would work out. I guess I would just have to go to the owners and talk to them. But I want to travel, hit up these bigger art cities around the country because they do some amazing work.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I would just learn so much off these people. But that's the only thing holding me back is the tattooing. Now I want to stay here and stay where I started because I have the most support here with all the tattooing. So if I could stay in this area, I know I'll keep the support, keep everybody with me, and it'll still help me survive.
Eventually when you grow, it'll go beyond that though, and you'll be able to go travel places or even move if you wanted to, and you'll still have that base.
Yeah, no, my biggest thing would definitely to get an RV and just tattoo out of that across country.
Dude, that'd be epic.
Yeah,
that'd be epic.
And dude, if you market it the right way on social media,
that's why it's huge. I feel like it's possible because with social media, if I'm known across the country and I can start telling people I'm coming to certain areas, it could give me that living to keep going and traveling, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be amazing. That's definitely my biggest goal right now, for sure.
That would be dope, yeah.
Oh,
Even a couple of... Dude, you know what would be cool is get an RV, get a couple people that do tattoos, too.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure eventually you're going to meet
Like, I don't think I've ever heard
friends.
of that, a tattoo shop on the road.
Yeah.
I just never heard of it.
Yeah, like you and like 2 other friends.
Yeah.
That do tattoos. And I know you said that you love seeing the look on people's face when you give them that artwork. I want to talk a little bit about your the painting you did for your camp and how much that meant to you. And
oh my gosh, that was definitely my biggest piece. That meant to me. I grew up at this camp. I think this was my 15th year going to this camp. I started as I think I was 8, and grew up, became a counselor, and it's a private Slovenian camp too. It's for everybody at my church, basically. So the whole Slovenian community goes there at our campground. It's out in Geneva. But yeah, I grew up there, and this was my final year as a counselor. So I just decided to donate a painting, see what I could do. You know, this was my first time actually taking a picture on spot and painting it. And I was really worried about it, but it worked out amazing. And I got to paint it in front of the kids and everything. They were all watching me the whole time. They saw in the beginning where it looked like complete shit because it's just, just the outline, and they thought that was like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, just wait. Just give me a day or two and you'll see, and it'll come out. But no, I painted our chapel. We have a little chapel that a few families have gotten married up there. For the campers, they go up there every morning and they do prayers. So these kids are there all week, looking at this chapel, staring at it. They're up there all the time, and so it was really amazing to paint that and get to donate it to our hall. They're gonna end up framing it and putting it up in the hall. So hopefully, if you guys ever get a chance to come out there and check it out, maybe you'll see the painting, which would be really cool.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing, because imagine years down the line and...
Yes, I was, speaking of that, I was looking at all the other... Before I even started my painting, I went through the hall, and they have all these paintings in there, and I was looking at them. The oldest one, or the newest one, I think, was from 1964. I was like, this is insane. Like, no one's painted anything since then. Like, and the hall was built in 1960.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm not completely sure, but it was just around that time. So it was painted. These paintings were put in pretty much when it was built. So now that I got a chance to paint something now, and I get to keep it in there, would be crazy.
Kids.
Show the kids. Thousands of people walk through there a day. So everybody that would get to see that painting would be amazing. And it was cool. I mean, once I finished that, I think I had like 6 offers for it, over $400. I was like, I can't, this is sentimental. I gotta donate it to the camp because I painted it there. I painted it during camp. I'm not there for the money. I can care less. I could paint another one if I wanted to, So it's really nice. But no, that was really cool to do.
Yeah, I'm sure growing up there and then being able to paint something that holds value and holds sentimental value for you specifically too, and your family.
Oh yeah, no, those like the offers that I got for it, they were the parents of the children. They said I got married at the chapel.
Oh wow,
I would pay anything for this painting just because it's beautiful. I was like, I'm just happy you like it. That's all I care about. I'm still in my beginning stages still. Like it's a blessing that people are telling me that my work's good, and I'm never gonna let that give me a big head or anything. I don't care about that. I will always make sure my work can be better. I want my work to be better.
And that's why you'll be great.
Yeah. I always want my work to be better, and I can't wait for it to be better too.
Yeah.
But I know as soon as it gets better, I'm going to want it to be even better.
Even better, so it'll never end, really.
It's never going to end.
Yeah. That's a true artist right there. Yep. It'll never end. What do you have to say to maybe that kid out there? Because, first of all, painting is very, people don't know how to begin, I've always wanted to paint, but I never knew how to, begin to paint. I hate messing up. But there's a kid sitting out there. He really wants to try it. Never has before.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just pick it up. Pick that brush up. Do what you can. It doesn't matter if it's going to look like shit. Everything I've done in the beginning always looked like shit. It was it took me time to realize what I needed to do to bring it up more, get it better, and it took patience. I think the biggest thing is you got to have patience, you got to stay consistent, and really those are my two biggest things, is just the patience and staying consistent is the biggest thing for anybody starting off with anything. You're always, I'm sure you starting off with the camera, you didn't know how to turn it on, and you probably want to throw it at the wall or something. You can't do that. You can't do those things. You got to just work with what's coming at you, overcome that, figure that out, and you will do great. Honestly, it's just, you stick with something, you will do great. And I'm a perfect example of it, because I just thought I was not getting anywhere, not doing shit. I'm glad I'm at the beginning stages where I'm at, because I could just see, like, I'm taking in everything, and I love it. I love everything that's coming to me. But just staying consistent is my biggest thing. I will live on that till the day I die. Doesn't matter. You're either consistent with your work or you're consistent sitting on a couch, and you know where that's going to get you. So,
yeah, amazing. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
that was boom, perfect note to end on. That was great, dude. That was amazing podcast. I think a lot of people are going to be inspired by it. Cool. And hopefully we get them to pick up.
Happy to speak my words and let people know what it's like. If anybody ever has any questions, I'm message away. I'm happy to help anybody. I'm here for my people.
Awesome. Where can the people find you at?
You can find me on Instagram. I have 2 accounts. One is just my regular account, which is Scale_2, and then I also have my tattoo account, which is Scales_Inc., where you could keep up with my work. So please give me a follow. Hope you like what you see.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for listening and watching. It's your boy Chef T.
I'm Will the Spacekid.
I'm Shawn Skale.
Yes, sir. So keep real, y'all. See you next week. Thank you all for listening and joining us on another episode of the Stirfry. All the music was created by Steve Ozell. Check him out on all streaming services at Stevo Music, spelled ST3V30 Music. Also, if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. We'd greatly appreciate it. And see you next Tuesday when we talk with Jacob Mayer. He is a photographer who has captured people from Polo G to MGK. He's very talented, and it was great to see him and talk to him. So see you next week, y'all.